All right. It is February 24th, 2026. We have a motion to accept the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mr.
Second.
Second by Nico. All in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous. It is a unique situation tonight, so we're going to move through this as judiciously and quickly, but also with, caution to make sure we get everything done. I don't see any is there any walk-ins or zoom-ins? None.
There is somebody in the waiting.
You do see some of the nurses. Any?
Oh, no,
Probably for something else. We're actually gonna do the report of the town administrator, and then we have a lovely resolution that we want to do. So can we start? Jim?
Yeah, I'll be very, very quick. Let me just start with a storm update. As of 5 o'clock, we were at 44% of Scituate property without power. All of Hummerock is still without power. That is caused by issues in Marshfield on Ferry Street. There's a lot of trees, a lot of wires down that they're working on. I think once they get that, that'll energize most of Hummerock because the damage is not at Hummerock, it's off. So we have 44%, which is about 3,900 customers. At 5 o'clock, and we're expecting to pick up an additional 1,900 homes by 10. I know part of that's already happened. They energized North Scituate, Gannett, and Hadley, which picked up a lot of customers. That'll leave us with about 25% of the time without power. They will continue to work overnight. They are still saying full restoration will be tomorrow night, but that will be, at that point, that'll be chasing in. So most of the large pieces of Scituate should be back on. So hang on, we're getting there. Tomorrow, all the town departments will be open regular hours, so people need to come in and get warm, charge their devices. Town hall, library, council on aging, everything will be open. You'll be able to come in and get all taken care of. A couple just quick updates. The town clerk wants to remind people that the annual town election is coming up. Nomination papers are available. You get them in the town clerk's office. Beach stickers and transfer station stickers are now available. They can be purchased online or in person if you are a Scituate resident. The non-resident Hummerock beach stickers sold out in 7 minutes. Wow, so they're already gone. We also have the new resident pilot program. Eldora residents may purchase transfer station stickers for $300. I know we've already had one.
I saw one, yeah.
We saw one come in and buy it, so it's already working. Recreation wants people to know that spring, summer, sailing, and maritime rec registration has been postponed until further notice. A new date and time will be set out by the end of the week. They're also looking for lifeguards. They're accepting applications through Friday, March 6th. You must have lifeguard and waterfront certifications, and you must be at least 16 years old. Contact the recreation department if you have any questions. That's what I'm going to keep my update to tonight. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't have a chance to go and put my tie on.
Please,
How dare you?
do not worry.
I go to my office. I can go.
I just want to quickly say there's a lot of opportunity for folks to be cynical about government in general. And until you see up close, and I hope, especially some of our newer members, we're able to see the work done at the EOC, they work at the Operations Center, and the work that our DPW has done, Jim, Nancy, everybody, DPW, the fire department, it was not only eye-opening, it was a community coming together, and I'm so happy and so proud of the folks that work here. It's incredible. And I don't, Jim, I don't care if I get in trouble for saying this, and it's also eye-opening at the lack of response from the state and how sometimes we feel alone from the federal government and the state, because these guys work so hard. The men and women here are amazing, and they deserve all the credit and all the support that they get, and we don't get it. I'm not afraid to say it because we don't get enough support. And I know things will get better because we have really, really dedicated good people in charge. And it was amazing.
Yeah, if I could just add, not just all the public safety people that worked through the storm, but all the town employees who came in today.
Yes.
Town hall, the library, the council on aging. We are about the only town anywhere that had anything open. I talked to Jesse around 4:30. They had about 75 people in the library since noontime, going in, getting warm, charging. Council on aging was busy all day with people in and out, families, elderly people, young people. So I think we only had one person,
I
maybe
think
two.
one.
Just one that wasn't here in this office, this building today, so thanks to all those town employees who came in, because they realize how important it is that we're here when the people in the community need us. I think that's a testament to that.
Thank you guys very much.
We're talking about getting guys like Tommy and other guys who were just here getting cots so people can sleep overnight. I mean, it was unbelievable, the dedication. So I just thank all of it. And with that, we go into some more public service, which is amazing. I'd like to hand it over to our clerk for a resolution.
It would be my pleasure. Resolution, whereas Bill Francis has resigned from the Board of Registrars of Voters effective February 7th, 2026, and whereas Bill Francis faithfully served the town of Scituate on the Board of Registrars of Voters from 1989 until 1995, and again from 1997 until February 7th of 2026, totaling 35 years of dedicated public service. And whereas throughout his tenure, Bill demonstrated unwavering commitment, professionalism, and integrity in the administration of elections and the protection of the democratic process. And whereas Bill consistently shared his extensive knowledge of election laws and procedures, providing steady guidance and support to his colleagues and to the town clerk's office. And whereas his experience and leadership were particularly invaluable during the 2019 ballot question recount, where his calm demeanor and expertise ensured that the recount process was conducted accurately and confidently. And whereas Bill's dedication was evident in his regular outreach and willingness to assist, always ensuring that the work of the board was thorough, fair, and in full compliance with election laws. And whereas the town of Scituate has been most fortunate to benefit from Bill Francis's loyalty, knowledge, and steadfast devotion to public service, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Scituate hereby expresses its sincere gratitude and appreciation to Bill Francis for his 35 years of exemplary service on the Board of Registrars of Voters, and be it further resolved that the Board of Registrars of Voters and the town clerk's office extend their heartfelt thanks for his guidance, commitment, and friendship, and wish him the very best in all of his future endeavors.
Bill, for your service. Now, should I mention so again, more wonderful news. It's pretty good when yet again, what is it now, 11 years in a row? When you start running out of room. Now, Nancy, how many years have you been with us? Many. So this is for the Certificate of Achievement for Excellent in Financial Reporting. We've now officially run out of room because for 11 years in a row, the town of Scituate has received the award, and I just want everyone to realize that we have to now buy a second one to put up. So congratulations to our finance team for dedication. Well done. Which is more people know.
Well, I can wear you, but interesting circumstances.
But we are very proud.
Thank you, and it's all the departments, for the down, without all the departments.
Legally, I've got to wait 5 minutes to start for the public hearing. And just so folks know, we'll probably go through some of these, the public hearings quickly because we messed up. We didn't advertise something in time, and so we have to just redo. These are for some liquor licenses, so we just want to make sure we do it right. We've already gone over these, we've talked about these, but we didn't file the proper.
Well, I wouldn't say we messed up. We thought we could do it an easy way and just make a transfer of license. And when we did, the state said, no, you have to make them do a full public hearing with mail to the abutters. We thought we wouldn't have to do that, save the business owners the expense of having to do all that. So we did the shortcut way, and the state said, no, we want you to do it the long way.
So we've litigated the issue, we kind of know what, so just so people know, if we don't spend a lot of time on it, we've already talked about it in past meetings. So with that, because we have to wait anyway, we're going to move right on. We're going to talk about the parade. Okay, come on up.
I'm tired. Oh, I don't know, just sitting around the house all day. Not watching TV because there was no power. Anyway. Too busy shoveling my driveway because my snow blower broke. Anyways,
Should we talk about the elephant in the room?
the elephant, where is it? Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be enough space to have a parade in 2 weeks. I mean, if you would like, I want to pay to have the town plow. I clear all the sidewalks and everywhere at the beginning of the parade where I set up, pay the bill. This happened in 2015 when we had a bazillion inches of snow. And we moved it to April. And it was a beautiful day. And everybody said, you should do it this year, like this every year. To which I responded, then it wouldn't be a St. Patrick's Day right now, would it? So I'm thinking that maybe we go to April 12th because we got Easter the weekend before. And I mean, even April 12th, it's probably still going to be snow on the ground somewhere. That's the issue, is the snow. It's just no place for people to stand. We have to have the transportation issues. We have to have places for people to park. The whole setup area is, you got 15 feet snowbanks. So,
I have a motion, Mr. Chair, when you're ready.
Yeah, so I think we're, especially there's more snow coming tomorrow,
possibly Friday.
possibly Friday.
And if we don't do this, it will snow a lot.
Well, we can spend the money, get the sidewalks clean, get the harbor clean, but as you get on the parade, that means everything on the right-hand side. You get on the street, it's covered in snow, that's all people's lawns, so you lose all that. And I don't know how we would clean, the old gates. You know, clean all that. That would
Yeah.
require front end loaders, picking it up, transporting it.
Yeah, it's a big expense. And then Central Park, I use both sides of the street on Central Park. As of right now, there's one lane going down Central Park, and there's just so much snow over there that it would take forever to get rid of it all. It was a very good parade. The weather was like 70 degrees.
Move to approve a special event permit to Ed Kelly for the St. Patrick's Day Parade originally scheduled for 15 March 2026 from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. with setup beginning at 10 a.m. and breakdown at 4 p.m. until Sunday, 12 April 2026, barring any other unforeseen circumstances and pending final sign-off by Police Fire Senior Center, Board of Health, and Certificate of Liability Insurance.
Second.
Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Freya, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I
Now
just have
that-
to try not to eat the 2,300 lollipops in my office.
Let's see.
You never know.
But anyway, let's update you on some events that are coming up that won't be postponed, hopefully. We have a couple of mayor candidates. Brian Rogic will be having his fundraiser at the old Pier 44, which is currently called the Scituate Harbor Community Building, this coming Friday night. Rich Banana will be having his at the VFW on Saturday night.
And I'm gonna sing a song.
Say what?
I'm gonna sing a song.
Oh boy, we're in trouble. Then we have the re-release of the We Love a Parade IPA at Untold on March 6th. So that'll be another fundraising event. And we will continue to have our mayor's Grand Marshal's banquet on March 12th. What was that? Yeah, right. So March 12th, we'll have the Grand Marshal's dinner at the Drift Inn. And the plunge was supposed to be March 7th. I think we're gonna have to cancel that altogether because there's a mountain of snow. You can't even get to the beach from Hammerock, so.
Plunge in April.
I suppose we could. We'll look into rescheduling that
We'll
too.
sign you up. You can-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm-
Are you going in?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get it for you, bikini and everything.
Oh, good. Well, then we'll reschedule it for you.
All right.
Do it in April, it's a slightly less than Polo Club.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, it's gonna be, it will, I know it stinks that it's gotta be delayed, but it's gonna be wonderful. As it always is.
Anyways, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Thank
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
And now it's 6:45, perfect, look at this. So this is for the change of this, the seasonal general all-purpose license. This is for Split Rock Beer Garden. I don't know if Ryan Hilton, the manager, and Brian Hilton is on. Oh, he is? All right.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you?
Doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Hanging in there. We're hanging in. Yes, all the paperwork's in order. We've talked about this before. Anything you know, quickly you want to just kind of mention? I mean, I think we know we had to do this for compliance reasons, but anything new we should know about? No?
No, nothing new. No changes to our operating schedule. Still plan to obviously be a seasonal business. I'm not sure a lot of people would want to be drinking in an igloo that it is today. So, yeah, still planning to be seasonal. But yeah, just obviously doing this for administrative purposes.
Motion?
Yeah. Any questions? We're all good?
No question.
Perfect.
Motion, move to.
You're also, in your motion, you're also, Ryan is changing manager, you're doing a change manager as well, so.
Oh, yeah, I thought we did separate.
Yeah, I think that was
But the motion is written together, so you might.
I have it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Got
I think technically I've got to also ask legally, I don't want to screw up. Anyone from the public, any questions, thoughts, or concerns? Again, I want to make sure, Ryan, that we do it right. I don't want to mess anything up.
Motion?
Don't want to say anything. Okay. Motion, please.
Move to approve a new annual general on-premises section 12 all alcohol beverage license for Scituate Split Rock Social Incorporated DBA Split Rock Beer Garden located at 358-360 Scituate, Massachusetts, with no changes to the operating hours or square footage under special legislation House 4657. And further, move that the select board approve the application for a change of manager to Ryan Hilton on behalf of Scituate Split Rock Social Incorporated, DBA Split Rock Beer Garden located at 358-360 Gannett Road for the annual general on-premises section all alcohol beverage license.
Second.
Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Rhea. All in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous. Excellent. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
You good?
Thank you. All right, legally, we have to wait till 6:55 for the public hearing. So this is,
What about the donation?
so we can go right to the donation, yeah.
Okay, I'm pleased to let the board know that Charles and Lena Pollard again this year have made a $500 donation to the Beautification Commission. Beautification Commission is very excited about it. And we're asking the board to accept it for the use by the commission.
Very generous of them.
And we know that they will do 10,000 things with it.
No, that's to go far.
And Lena does so much for the beautification commission already.
I'm just getting to the motion.
So we can filibuster afterward. Yeah, there.
I have the motion, sir, if you'd like it.
Perfect. We will take it.
Move that the select board accept the generous $500 donation from Charles and Lena Pollard for use by the Beautification Commission.
Second.
Gotcha now. Moved by Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Nico. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Are we going back to,
We got 5 minutes.
Do the contracts?
Yeah, can you do contracts if you want?
Yes,
What about the contracts?
the 8:30.
Outboard engines and shorebird conservation.
I can do it in 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like name that tune.
I love the shortboard stuff. There's a media story about this someday.
Yeah.
Yep.
The fact that we have to, this. But he's saving us money. He's saving
Yeah, he's
us,
saving us money.
he's saving us 20 grand.
Yes.
So are we going in order as on the agenda?
Yes,
Power?
let's do the repowering.
I just
Okay.
have to find it.
What page
What
are
page
we on?
is
Okay, so I will,
Anybody know?
so I'll talk about, so the three of this, so this, yeah, there's a Scituate boat works.
Page?
That is 88.
Oh, wow, okay. Thank you.
It's to repower an older engine.
I'm sorry,
85.
Birds is 88.
Yeah.
85 is Scituate Boat Works.
All right,
Yeah.
85.
So yeah, we'll have a boat works.
This was a capital project for repowering of Marine Unit 2. They tried doing 3 quotes. It was too high, so they went out to bid because it was over $50,000. There was only 1 bid received on the day, and that was Scituate Boat Works for $53,181.44, which is within their budget. And the project is partially funded by a $24,999 port security grant.
Right, this is through the, yep.
Motion?
Yeah, I don't see any questions,
I don't
so,
have any questions.
yeah.
Move to award contract 26-PO-01M to Scituate Boat Works for the repowering of Marine Unit 2 MP-2 in the amount of $53,181.44.
Second.
Mr. Gilmore, second by Brett, all in favor? Aye. It's unanimous.
And Mr. Goodrich, I do apologize. You do have a hand raised if you are taking public comment.
Oh, yes, all right, we will go,
Yep, let me do this here. Mr. Zarkarkis, you should be able to unmute just your name, address, and go with your comment. Thank you.
Right, Jack Zarkowskis, 51 Colonel Mansfield Drive. I know this is probably after the fact. It's already probably been discussed and it's moved ahead. I will say that when I saw the agenda and I saw a item about repowering of MP2, kind of caught my attention because I don't know what an MP2 is. So I did go into a little more detail and found out that it is the rubber inflatable boat. So you can either answer a couple of questions I have or just say it's too late anyways. But when I started reading this, I was a little surprised to see that we were replacing an engine that had 1,000 hours on it. That was an engine that currently is expected to have 2,000 to 3,000 hours on it. So I was just wondering if there was a specific reason why this engine, which seemed to be, I won't say underutilized, but certainly not at the end of its useful life based upon the hours, why it had to be replaced. Then when I saw the price of $53,000 to repower the boat, I went into more detail and found out that it wasn't just the repowering, that was also electronics. So again, I was a little bit, surprised that we were replacing all these electronics, which ultimately, based upon the current price of an engine, which is probably around between $20,000 and $25,000 for the same Yamaha 200 horsepower engine, that meant the electronics were coming in at another $25,000, $28,000. So my question is just, do you feel like there was a real full discussion that all this stuff was necessary, and certainly at the prices, and especially since there was only one response, we're going ahead and spending $53,000, regardless of whether it's in the budget or not, still questioning whether it's prudent to do that.
24,000 is in the,
No, I would say 2 things though too.
Sure.
That I would say the hours on the engine may be lower, but it's a 2012 Yamaha. So it is getting to the older age on a boat that is needs to work all the time, right? To go out and fetch people who are in the water. And then second, I would say we then will sell the engines. So typically we then sell the older engine and put that money back into the account.
And there's also in our backup a long list of required equipment or equivalents that need to be provided.
Right, and some of them, because, so we're getting grant money for this, so it's what,
24,999.
Almost 25, 24,999 of grant money, and part of that, again, we have to make sure there's certain safety equipment that's there. Though you bring up a bigger point, which is wonderful, about procurement in general, and how sometimes a town's hands are tied on how you can't just go shopping like other people do. You can't just go to like Harbor Freight or someplace to look for an engine. That how some of those procurement avenues work. Whole other discussion, bigger than that, but there is, yes.
I would also say two 200 horse Yamaha outboard engines with all of the equipment listed from Garmin, Sharp Plotter, Transducer, radio, it's not a bad price at all. Like it's actually a good price.
There's 13 items on this list
Yeah.
that need to be.
But I think priority for me, if I were like, we have boats that need to go out in an emergency, and you shouldn't have an older engine when you need a boat to work every single time you turn the switch. And and we have in the past, like we do this, we rotate out the engines and we do sell them, and we get pretty good return on the used market for outboard engines, even if it's like this is past a warranty.
So Zach, if you need an engine, there might be one for sale.
There will be one for sale. Or two.
Or two.
But I mean, I think you have great points, Zach. If I wouldn't, I probably on a recreational boat, I'm not sure you'd be, on a recreational boat, you wouldn't be repowering at this point, but this is a municipal boat that has a lot of safety.
Yeah,
It's its primary, it's a police boat, and we have to have it ready, tip-top shape, ready to go at all times.
Yeah, Jack, I think I appreciate your point. I think for me, I always appreciate when a resident takes the time to dig into something on our agendas and take a second look at it. So I do appreciate you bringing your thoughts and your questions and concerns. I agree with the rest of the board that I think that the police boat needs to be in tip-top shape, and it's a more than that, 15-year-old boat. This is the boat that, MP2 is the boat that goes out to the head of the North River when somebody capsizes and pulls people out of the water. That's the kind of thing that boat's doing. So it's not just personnel, we need the equipment to be able to do those kinds of things. That's why it's important that we keep all the equipment at best possible shape.
May I just make one other comment? Because of the port security grant, this is like almost 50% discount on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, plus then we're gonna sell the old engines, so we're not walking in blind here in terms of knowing what we're gonna do to be tip top and best in service.
Thank you very much for the responses. I know there's a lot of other things to talk about, but I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, good questions.
And
Thank you very much.
I will yield the floor to your hearing.
It can be later. You can do, you just can't start before.
You just can't start before.
Okay,
So let's.
moving on to the birds.
We vote on that? We
We did, yeah.
I knew it was a second, I can't remember who voted.
So as you mentioned, Mr. Chair, our annual contract for the coastal nesting shorebird monitoring and management services, otherwise known as piping plovers or plovers, depending on how you say it. Normally, when we put this out to bid, we only have one bidder, which is Mass Audubon, but Liam Norton has come up through Scituate High School, was involved in that program. He actually has worked for the town of Duxbury in their monitoring program. He did put in a quote last year. It was more than Mass Audubon. This year, he came back with another quote, and he was the low bidder, so we're really excited. Michelle's done a lot of work, talking to him about what's involved and so he understands that what he has to do. And you saw his proposal, it was very comprehensive. So we're really excited to have an alternative to the monitoring program and have someone who was so excited about it and is a Scituate native.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Savings money, again, this is a statement, you have to do this.
And now we
And
send
now
a check to Scituate.
To Scituate, and
instead of
it's,
Perfect.
right.
So the two
And
saving
bids,
money.
Yep. Isn't it an adorable bird? And hopefully we'll get more input that we can post out. So his bid was $17,800 and the other bid was $22,207.
Don't read how many you get.
Okay,
Sure. We'll take a motion.
Move to award contract 26PP-0 to Liam Norton Shorebird Conservation Program for coastal nesting shorebird monitoring and management services for 2026 in the amount of $17,800.
Second.
Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Schlegel, all in favor? Is approved. And talk about, we talked about this at the EOC.
Yep.
the need for this generator.
So this is the last contract before you tonight. It's award of contract to FM Generator for a second generator at the middle school, which would enable it to be a shelter. This is being funded with a FEMA hazard mitigation grant. We also have previously appropriated our town share. We're still going to be short about $6,000, and Cam is going to make that up out of the facilities public buildings budget, so this can finally move forward.
Perfect. Federal grant. We'll put in the rest, but literally, we talked about this, how we needed this.
Yeah, we gotta do
And
it.
we could have used this today,
Motion?
please.
Move to award contract 26 MSG-01 to FM generator for middle school generator in the total amount of $164,550.
Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Ms. Harrison. All in favor? It is unanimous.
So joked.
She had to go.
Okay.
You okay, Nancy?
Thank you.
That was very, I mean, now we'll have a place to have a shelter.
Yeah.
It's huge, the cafeteria.
You could have used.
Now, we can move on to the public hearing. So this is the Salt Marsh Winery.
What page are we going back?
Oh, yes. Page. It is
25, is it?
Was it before the parade?
25.
It was before the parade.
Yes, 25.
All right.
All right, so again, just so folks know, the ABC and town council advised the public hearing and this legal advertisement and the abutter notification would be needed. We went through those steps. We spoke about this at a prior meeting. And so what we're trying to do tonight, again, for folks to know, just to approve the new annual on-premise restaurant, all alcohol beverage license for the Salt Marsh Winery, excuse me. And we sent out the proper abutter notices this time. We talked about
The
that.
paperwork is in order, Mr. Chair.
All the paperwork's in order. I'm looking here. Public comments.
Motion?
Can I do the motion?
You'd like, go right
I
ahead.
Please.
would. I would like to move to approve a new annual on-premises restaurant all alcohol beverage license for PDR Foods LLC, DBA, the Salt Marsh Winery located at 17 New Driftway, Scituate, MA, with no changes to the operating hours or square footage under special legislation House 4657.
Second.
First, second by Mr. Gilmore. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, well, we are moving right along. So I don't think you have. Dan, I cannot believe you made the trek in. We would have let you Zoom. How are you? Come on up. We're going to talk community preservation.
Which page are we at?
45.
Thank you.
Yeah, everything good?
Yeah.
Power, you're okay, everything?
Oh, I had power the whole time. I can't believe it.
Say that.
Everybody else was without power except us.
We're going through this budget a little bit closer. Seems you're really a lot. I still have a flashlight.
We never lost power. It was great. Didn't have any TV, but lost power.
All right, well, let's go through. There's a lot of good stuff in here. We've talked about this before, briefly, but yeah, take us through. Do you have a PowerPoint?
Yes, I did.
Nope, I need a second. I didn't think this was going to be on the agenda, so I'm going to need a few minutes.
All right, we'll talk through it until then. Any overarching kind of themes or anything you'd love to?
Good. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
the opportunity to speak to you again. We have, this should be fairly short because we really have two projects that we're looking at. I don't know if you have the presentation.
Yeah.
But I can go forth with it. The first page is basically where we are financially with the revenues from 2026, the various adjustments to it, a state trust fund distribution of $463,000, which gives us an estimated revenue of $2.975 million for this year. And when we look at that, that requires a 10% set aside for historic preservation, open space, and community housing of $297,000 each. So that will go into those three buckets, if you will. The next slide is where we are for the upcoming meeting. So if you look at the top part of that is from the last town meeting we had. And if we go down to the lower part of the page, you'll see the $297,000 set aside for the three categories that we're required to. Administrative expense, the smallest we can set aside is $74,000. Looking at the history of what we've spent, I don't even think we've spent more than $40,000 in any one year. So that a lot of that will come back. The debt service is $227,000. That's for the athletic fields. We still have a few years left on that. And then the two projects that we have coming up for vote at the town meeting are the basketball courts behind us here and the Mordecai Lincoln renovation. I'll call it part 2. So if you look at the next slide, I just put this up there just to show what the trust fund distribution has contributed to Scituate over the years. And if you look at the bottom, $11.8 million over the years. It goes up and down. It's been going down a little bit because of the increased participation in CPA, and also some of the highlights that they had from a couple of years ago are now just regular income that are coming out. So we are expecting this year $463,000 approximately. I'm sorry?
Want me to zoom in so I can.
Got it.
Oh, you do, okay.
Good.
That's excellent.
Okay, so the two projects are the basketball court construction for $1.2 million and the Mordecai Lincoln renovation project for $200,000. If you go to the slide with the, go back up a couple. Nope, I'm sorry, go down. Just to show the basketball courts, next one down. Oh,
One more.
I'm sorry, one more. Yep.
There we go.
So those are the three basketball courts that are behind the high school. We still have the drawing with the pickleball courts superimposed on that, but that has been tabled by the rec department. So we still don't have a location for pickleball courts, for additional pickleball courts, I should say. And that was decided by a lot of different factors, one being noise behind the high school and the concern that we have for the neighbors behind us there.
Land in the West End that, like, in any conservation land that could have pickleball courts on it?
My understanding is all the land in the West End that was acquired through CPC was designated as a restriction for conservation, so you can't construct on that. There is other land. I don't know if you could put basketball courts there. There is one piece of property the town bought, I'd say 4 or 5 years ago, off of Clapp Road, that was originally intended for fields and was never brought forth to do that because of some of the physical limitations of the property. There's issues getting on and off the property because it runs right by a cemetery that's a historic cemetery. There are wetlands that you'd have to go through.
Down past the Mount Hope house?
It's on this side of Mount Hope
Correct.
of the
Not across
building.
not across-
It's almost when you go around the corner off of to get on Clapp Road. It's right there across from, I don't know if you know, well, I won't say
I
the
know the
names.
West End very well.
Yeah, but it's right around the corner as you go down, as you head down Clapp Road toward Mount Hope.
It only has about a 20-foot wide entrance.
It's right, lawn.
So.
Not the Crosby Preserve though, it's something else.
No, this is a separate property. It actually abuts other town-owned land. So if you think of 3A and where the town forest is, it's kind of behind that, if you will. The property is behind there. But there's serious, pardon?
Like Booth Hill, Clap Road.
Yeah, at that corner there, it's right down the street from there.
Come around the corner, you have that big house on the right,
Yeah,
and next to it is this little stone wall.
yes, and there's a little driveway that goes down there. I think the property is only 40 feet wide that goes through there. There's a driveway that goes down and there is a cemetery right next to it. And it goes through, actually, if you were going to put a driveway to the property, it would have to go through wetlands. Not sure if that's a feasible place to put pickleball courts or how much it would cost to put them back there, because there would be some.
There's no direct
I think
abutters.
there was limited parking.
There's no plan right now for pickleball courts anywhere.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to think outside of the box I know people
Right.
love their pickleball and that seems to be an isolated location.
Right.
Find a location, cemetery.
Yeah, and that's one of the locations you could potentially do something without people objecting to the noise.
I thought there was an issue there with parking as well.
Pardon me?
Parking. I thought there was an issue there about limited parking.
Well, it's just limited access to the property. And then there is quite a bit of wetlands as you go into the property. So it would be difficult to put something back there. That's why I think the town abandoned the thought of putting ball fields or some kind of athletic fields back there.
Sorry to sideline.
But there is property there. My thought is the ideal place for pickleball would be an indoor court, frankly. But again, you're talking about increased costs to do that. That would mitigate the sound issue that we have with, it's kind of like nobody wants it next to them because it is a noisy sport.
And Scituate Athletic Club has pickleball courts. People can join a private club and play pickleball. Yes, they do.
Well,
And the old gate school is still used for pickleball.
Yeah, in front of us. Yeah. We will solve pickleball some other day. So
Right.
So overall though, I know there's been repairs in the last couple of years. The Basketball Association has had to make repairs, but overall, what is the feedback been from the public that you've heard for folks for these courts?
So the courts has been positive. The issue is they're not repairable. Let's put it that way. They did a study last year and found that the moisture level is just to a point in the existing courts that it's not repairable. You could go and surface it and paint it, but it's just going to do the same thing it did after they did some repairs to it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I want to let people know that it's not, their repairs have been made over the years. It's not that we let them sit fallow.
No, it has been maintained, and as I indicated, the Scituate Basketball Association has spent almost $40,000 on repairing those courts over the years. They had a fundraiser a couple of years ago that was to raise money to repair the courts, and they haven't done a lot of work on it. They're just they're old and they're not repairable.
Yeah, no, I just
so
people at home know that's
They live their life.
The word is they're failing.
Yeah.
this is even more exciting, I think. Mordecai Lincoln. Let's talk about Mordecai Lincoln. This is
So it's basically phase 2 of the repairs that they're trying to effect at the property. This is really for to look at landscape drainage and accessibility, to look at the mill exterior structures and assessment and what needs to be done with those. And then they call it the community engagement use, is to go out, reach out to the community for what the ideas of future of the building. It's part of the funding that's being requested by the Mordecai Lincoln Property Committee, and it's anticipated this won't be the last one. Okay. We did have, I don't know if there are any questions on that
There
one.
was one study.
And they're only asking for, I'm sorry, they're asking for 200,000. I think I put 75,000 on on the slide that I have. But they're asking for 200,000, and I know they will be asking for more because there's a lot of repairs that need to be done, not just to the historic Lincoln House, but also to the caretaker property as well. So we also voted on rescinding funds for projects going back almost 9 years that have been out there, and we were told every year we're not done with the project. We still might have a couple of things. Regardless, that's these 6 projects were finished, and we're rescinding whatever's left of that. The big one, obviously, was the lighthouse, where we had, I think, overestimated the monies for the repair of that, so they wouldn't fall short. And so it turned out, instead of $2 million, it came out to be about $180,000, $1.8 million for the lighthouse restoration.
I have a question about the applicant field. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask it because I'm on the board, but the $12,669.68, is that money being rescinded for the ADA compliance that has not yet been completed?
That was, I believe, for the original parking for that, but I could be wrong.
They were supposed to put in pathway from the parking up into the fields and make the fields graded out so that ADA compliance could go to the raised beds that have been built. So that money is now being removed. Is that?
It's being rescinded. That's correct.
We no longer, or that money will no longer be available to grade out and make the field.
You could make another request, yes.
But there's no legal way to remove this.
Well, we could.
Legally allowed to be.
If you think you're insisting that that project isn't done and you want
that project is not done, we were hoping to get it started.
But we can vote on that before the meeting to take it off the list and keep the $12,000 for the project.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. I've been
Yeah.
on the board for 3.5 years. We've been waiting for a contractor to get stone dust out there and grade it so that people who are not able-bodied can get out there, and
Right.
the ADA compliant beds have been built, that the land has still not been graded enough for ADA compliance.
Okay. Yes, we didn't hear back from anybody on that, so that's why, if we didn't hear back from them, we assume that nothing's happened in the last year, and we're taking the money back. So that's how that got on the list.
A lot has happened in the last year. I'd love to meet you out there anytime.
Okay. No, I mean the money spent for for the project. I know a lot's happened out there. There's been a lot of work out there. But yes, so if you can still use that money and use it in the next year or so, then we can vote on that to put that back in the bucket of money that's available.
Okay, so who do we need to represent the president? Does the president need to come to your meeting?
Say that again?
The president of the Appleton Field Community Garden needs to be present at.
No, I can raise that as an item on the next meeting, which is March 9th, I think. And we can vote on that. I see no reason why we wouldn't vote to leave that money available for the project.
Thank you.
Again, we went through the outstanding monies that hadn't been spent, looked at things that hadn't been any money spent in the last year, or in the case of 2015 project, a little bit old to keep money for that project. So that's why we went out and asked to take this money back to reuse somewhere else. So we can put that back on take that off the rescission list. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's basically it for this town meeting. I thank you very much. I don't know if there's any other questions or.
Should we check?
Okay.
Wait, see if there's any.
We do?
All right, people will get my lights up next. Any questions?
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, one thing I would mention, we do have 2 projects that we're still vetting that we haven't quite gotten there yet. And one is the Cranberry Bog off of Old Country Way. And that is now we're going back for an additional appraisal on that property with the understanding that perhaps the water on that property can be used by the town. The original appraisal was only based on how valuable the property would be for construction on the property. So we believe that the original appraisal was a little low. I think this appraisal, if it takes into consideration the use of the water, might increase that a little bit, although I don't expect it would be that much. So we're going back. We'll probably have the appraisal on that in March, and we'll come back to vet the rest of the project at that time. The other project is the Pier 44 Park that we've been working with the group responsible for that. And that we haven't finished vetting yet. We did ask them to come back and look at a couple of options for what they have right now. Right now, that project looks to be about 6 million. And if that's the case, I assume it may be reduced a little from that, but not significantly. We will probably, more than likely, go out to a loan on that project as well.
And I know we're working on that.
Yeah. Right. We have a March 9th. So we're hoping to vet that and finalize it in the next couple of months for the fall meeting.
That's exciting.
Good.
Any other comments?
Thank you, Dan.
All right. Thank you.
We vote on the recommendation, right?
No.
Oh, I know, all right. Oh, thank you so much. All right, next, I think I saw
Mike,
Mike is on.
yeah.
I didn't make that.
Mr. Gibson, how are you, sir?
Hey everyone, how are you?
You have power or do you have a generator?
We have power. We never lost it.
All right.
No, I know. Usually the West End takes the brunt of it, but
Yeah, don't want to jinx it, but the West End,
I know.
almost all the power outages this side of 3A.
yeah.
I'm very jealous, but no, well, I'm glad you were able to get on. Not that I need that you're not having trouble, I hope. Well, great. Well, take us through the, sorry, I've got to find it here, but yeah, take us through. You guys have done wonderful work. 50, yeah, 15, perfect.
59.
Over the recommendations, and again, I really want to thank the committee for all the work going through all these different line items, everything. You guys have done a really nice job. But with that, I'll send it over to you.
We've done this before. This is the second time.
Yeah.
This is just the update, yeah.
Yeah, I know there's some loose ends. And
Right,
things,
right,
so.
right.
Yeah, we had an additional meeting on February 4th to rehear a few items, some things that happened in the interim from when we took our vote at the end of November. So we did revote 3 of them. So as you remember before, we voted not to recommend 5 items. 3 of those we revoted and voted unanimously to recommend. The first would be the gazebo. As you'll recall, our concerns were mostly that safety was cited as a reason for why we needed to do this, but there were no plans to actually tear down the gazebo or do anything. It was just going to stay there. And then the concern that Cole Parkway was being redesigned and it should be folded into that. Since that time, Cam hired a structural engineer. I believe this board's aware, to come out and look at it. It was determined this is not structurally sound. Select board voted unanimously to demo the gazebo. That obviously solved that concern of ours. And then, we confirmed that this will not be touched as part of the Cole Parkway redesign. So we had no concerns with this going forward. There's the added benefit that because this is funded from free cash, it will be available immediately after the annual town meeting vote. So Cam's able to go bid this out now, can present that plan, and then if town meeting approves this item, would be able to get this started hopefully before summer. So there could be something else there, which I know is of a major concern to the community. So again, we revoted unanimously to recommend that item. The second item from Facilities that we originally did not recommend was the library repainting. So that the concern there is the project is, it's been 7 years since it went up. It's kind of falling apart and is in disrepair, but it's because it was not done correctly the first time around. So the original proposal was to just power wash and repaint the clapboard siding. We felt we'd be in the same place in a few years. So we discussed it with Cam, and he, understands where we're coming from and realizes that we need to have a more sustainable long-term capital solution. They're going to look at potential refinishing of the boards, not just slapping a coat of paint up there. So we're comfortable with that. He's aware of, where we stood and our concerns there going forward. And then, I'll note it's not a huge additional spend from free cash. Most of the money's already been appropriated. It's an additional $10,000 from our free cash for this. So, we felt comfortable recommending that project. And the third that we reviewed again was the mooring field regrid. So you'll remember our initial concerns there were that we were never presented a proposal. There were no numbers. It's just kind of something that was thrown out there. So it was hard for us to evaluate the validity of the plan without specifics. And then there was also the concern that it noted this money was for construction, but it didn't really make sense because we're not sure what we're constructing because we don't know what we're doing yet. So we received the bid proposal or the request for bid from the harbor master. That looks fine. It makes sense. It fits with those original numbers and just specified that this would just be for design and engineering. There was some discussion about why would we go forward with this if we don't get the SEAC grant. So it's an 80-20 grant. So it really would only be 20% of the town share if we receive that grant. But Jim and Nancy, reminded us that we typically do not condition funding for engineering on the grant match. So we felt comfortable with that going forward as well. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So those three we added to the plan. Excuse me, but MS4 dying over here. Excuse me, MS4 and the fire truck. We still did not feel comfortable recommending.
It's still, so, okay, so now it's the MS4 and the fire truck. Yes.
So the MS4, this committee has never been in favor of, and would somebody like to explain what MS4 is? So our viewers can understand it, Mr. Town Administrator?
So sure, MS4 is a federal requirement that we map all the drainage in town, where it goes, make repairs, so we're not dumping stuff into the ocean, basically.
Thank you.
And why is that not approved?
It's a philosophical.
It's a philosophical, should it be under operating, should it be under capital?
They don't believe it should be under capital. We believe it can be and it should be if it can be.
It's with free cash.
Yeah, so I think the important difference here is I don't think anyone's ever made the argument that this is a capital expense. It's that this came out of nowhere 7 years ago, and we needed to find a way to fund it. And we used our capital budget to stretch our operating budget, and we have never sort of tightened the belt to be able to account for this. So we continue to fund it year after year. But it's something our engineers have to do every day as part of their jobs. So the capital planning committee has a hard time recommending that as a capital improvement project for the town.
Thank you.
And then the other is the fire pickup truck?
Mike, just on MS4, you guys don't disagree with the concept of having to be done?
Absolutely not, no.
Is that the concept of what budget falls?
Right.
correct?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's allowable to be.
It's fine.
Yeah, so it's legally allowable, and listen, I'm not 100% against the arguments of that where it should be. I just don't, looking at all the different budget, I don't know where else to take out as
level of funding.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want everyone to think that like philosophically, there's, yeah, where it needs, like, it's not an invalid point, but I understand it. I just don't know how to.
Yeah, it's a matter of,
you know what I mean? It's like
matter of compliance with law. It's something the town needs to do. But if you look at, what our committee is supposed to review and as laid out in the chart, would not fit within the scope of projects that we should be reviewing. So that's why, we push back on it. And again, as we look at future budgeting and forecasting, it's something we think about when we need to increase our operating budgets.
Yeah, I mean, I just want you to, I actually like and I appreciate that you push back, and I hope you continue, because I don't know necessarily if on this one, I'm still gonna vote to go forward because we need to fund it, and I can't do any other way. But trust me, please keep pushing back, because that is your job to help us see that, because there could be something else down the road that maybe we could do. I can't find the money.
Can I say something about the other?
Sure, yeah. Yep.
Can I say something about the other, on the pickup truck?
Can we ask him what his opinion was first, Mr.?
Sorry, go ahead.
Select Board member? Why did you not vote for the pickup truck?
Oh, yeah, the pickup truck. Remind us on the pickup truck again.
Sure, right. So this pickup truck is a DCR vehicle that is currently on loan. It was kind of an excess supply. So to the extent we were ever to get rid of this, we cannot auction it off. It's not a town asset. It would go back to DCR. Yeah, it's
1986 pickup truck.
correct.
The zoning.
Yeah.
So it's not being used for anything right now. There's no purpose for which this truck is needed. One of the things that was noted when we met with Chief Donovan was that the mechanic could use it to go pick up tires or take them back and forth. There are other utility bodies that the fire department currently has that they could utilize. There are also, obviously not during a storm event, but DPW trucks that could be utilized to the extent we had a special purpose reason. So since this truck is not currently being used, we felt that purchasing an additional pickup truck would be adding to the fleet for which there was not a defined purpose. And, as we've talked about, we have tight budgeting cycles. It is probably not a prudent time to spend free cash if we don't need to. So that was the reason. That's that.
So, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I looked into this. First of all, I looked into it because I heard about it, and the town administrator is recommending it. I met with some of the fire relevant people in the department. The 86, if you've looked at, I shared pictures with everybody. The 86 is in such rotted condition, you really can't drive it. I don't even think it's registerable, if that's a good word. I was informed that the current method of, this is a maintenance vehicle to support, for example, frozen fire hoses that they bring back to thaw out from a sea, tires for trucks to move their 300 pounds each. There would be a lift installed on the new truck so that a person is not going to hurt themselves lifting, and that the other vehicles, command vehicles that are in the department are loaded with equipment to go to a scene or an emergency, and to unload all of that and the big drawer that pulls out and everything is just impractical. So they really do need this truck so they can, right now, some of the individual firemen are using their personal vehicles to do some of this maintenance, which is also a high issue liability risk. So I think this truck should be acquired.
Mike, I appreciate the feedback. I remember you talking about that in general the same way last time we spoke about it. I also took some time to talk to the fire department, both the chief and some of the firemen on our squad. And I talked about it actually again yesterday because at the emergency meeting, I talked to Chief Donovan about that. And, yesterday was a perfect example. With all our equipment out, this is actually a truck that would have been used yesterday to restock different supply cycles when all the vehicles we have at DPW were all on the road. And I take the point that on an average day, this truck's not doing a ton on every day. But on the days when it's needed, it's really needed. And when we have an actual active fire scene or something else is going on, and we need tires and we need hoses to get thawed, this would be the first, second, or third time, in the last 10 years, we've had active scenes out by the waterfront when we're in flood zones, et cetera, where all our equipment is at task and we need somebody else kind of running on other, back cycles. So I think it's really important piece of equipment. I appreciate the financial fiscal responsibility end of it, but I think that if it shows that we use this other truck and it is in absolute disrepair, as long as we could. Right now, we're using other fire department personal vehicles to do some of the work that this truck will do. And I think the liability that it exposes the town to have a personal vehicle out on rounds is not insubstantial. And so I think that's another reason I support this.
I also agree with the purchase of the fire truck.
I don't need to enter it. He actually, my biggest concern was the individuals using their own vehicles. We don't ask that of anybody in the town. And the liability there is very high. So I think it's an appropriate time.
1986.
Yeah.
Come on.
But Mike, I want to make sure, like Andrew said earlier, I think it's your job to hold us to account on financial budgeting items. I appreciate the pushback. I think I dug into it more specifically because I wanted to understand that. And the answers I'm getting on the fire side, answered my questions about the
Fair enough.
My only question was how long is it gonna take us to procure this truck? Cause it usually does take a long time. That's usually another thing, but I did see that the date says 8/31/26. Is that for real?
It's a pickup truck.
Okay.
So it's not a
So
red.
all this added equipment that will
Might be
take time.
Brad.
Okay. No, well, it said all this equipment. It's not just the truck.
Yeah, specialty have a significant.
Lift on it.
Yeah, there's a lift, there's a whole bunch of equipment. Okay.
Yeah, Mike, you had something?
Sorry?
I thought you were saying that.
Oh, specialty vehicles have a significantly long lead time. So ambulances, fire trucks, certain large assets for DPW, but pickups are very quick turnaround.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's hard to say you don't need a new, it's 1986.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
yeah.
and I don't think it's reasonable to have our town employees, using their personal vehicles.
Yeah.
Like I kind of said before, but I agree, it's like you gotta put back on this stuff, but I mean, it's hard to flex.
Oh, yeah, I mean, listen,
But, I mean, this is.
if, Mike, in full disclosure, if the storm didn't happen, I didn't see precisely what some of this and the needs for some of these trucks. I can't tell you how my thinking on a lot of some of these things have really changed and the need for some of this. I mean, they had to get some people out, again, talking about moving just cots and things you don't even think about, sleep in blankets. So people from all around, it's really made me change. But no, I thank you for pushing back on some of this stuff, because you're right. We have to be cognizant of it. And everything, again, going back to what you did earlier with the painting and making sure that now we have different solutions. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it highlights this committee. Highlights that this committee is kind of finally functioning how it should be, right? So there was additional questions. We didn't feel we had enough information for these items. We were able to have another meeting, procure that information, and feel comfortable about putting it forward. Point taken about the fire truck. I think it is, especially illuminated from this past storm. It's just tricky when we receive the information and it's a truck that's not in service and sitting there. And I'll give you a good example, right? If the transfer station came forward and said they wanted to replace that green pickup truck that's been sitting right by the trash bins for 10 years because they needed to use it, I think we'd push back in the same manner, right? If it's a truck that's been sitting there, there's no purpose for it, it's not being used. So, I mean, that was our original reasoning for it.
Yeah, no, I applaud the work. Yeah, and as we're learning things too as I go along and everyone else. But yeah, I'll
motion.
Mike will tell you, I don't really say a lot of nice things about Mike. They did a really nice job this year. He really ran a good meeting. They were very efficient. didn't waste a lot of time, asked good questions, so.
Good.
They
Nice.
He's excellent.
really
Yeah.
did a job.
Sure.
That's
All that
high.
with the new baby.
Him.
All that
Okay,
with the baby
seriously.
and all, right?
That's right.
Motion?
Yes, let's take a motion.
This is a two-part motion. Motion to accept the capital planning committee's recommendations for the fiscal year 27 capital plan, and further move to include $150,000 for DPW engineering MS-4 on the fiscal year 27 capital plan for the April 13th, 2026 annual town meeting article, and further move to include $85,000 for replacement of the 1986 fire department pickup truck.
Second.
All right, so moved by Mr. Gilmore, second by, we'll go Freya. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous, but we are with gratitude, and I
Yes.
seriously mean that sincerely. And someday we're gonna figure out this
MS4.
MS4. But I do know we need that truck at this point.
Yeah.
After the weekend, I know we need this truck.
Do an operational
But we will
override.
figure it out. Right, we might have to. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Michael.
All right,
Give me just 1 second, just gotta get rid of this.
yeah.
Special town meeting.
Second.
Yeah.
That next week.
Sounds. That's fine. They did a nice job.
Yeah.
They did.
Nice meeting.
Yes.
You want the green?
The green ones first?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
We're just-
are we taking a break? I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, well, we're
No,
trying
no,
to find
okay,
all of
okay.
our paperwork.
Okay, fine, fair, that's fine, that's all I need.
And then Nico had to just,
Well,
where's the thing away?
our next agenda item is the special town meeting. Right?
Yeah, so we have annual, we got special,
And then-
annual. Okay, just trying to get organized, sorry. And.
And the consent agenda.
All right, consent agenda for a special town meeting.
Yeah.
Yes. That was buying Nico some time. All right, here we go. And to
Right.
take us through,
Okay, so you have 5 articles on your special town meeting. Oh, yes, they're color coded. Purple is annual town meeting, green is special town meeting, and yellow is the master sheet. Somebody had too much time on their hands on Sunday.
starting with green.
Green. So you have 5 articles on the special town meeting, prior year unpaid bills, fiscal 26 budget reconciliations, rescission of borrowing authorizations, a third tranche of the Affordable Housing Trust Small Grant Program, and then an eminent domain land taking for Sunset Road. The proposal from Jim and I to you is to consider the first 4, everything but the eminent domain, to be on the consent agenda because they're articles we've seen before, several of them being housekeeping.
That's all just household.
Motion?
Yeah, any questions?
I would agree.
Move to recommend Articles 1 through 5 of the April 13th, 2026 special town meeting warrant, and authorize the town administrator to add any additional unpaid bills presented prior to posting of the warrant or adjustments to the snow and ice deficit amount.
Mr. I believe he said 5, 1 through 5. It's 1 through 4.
I did.
That's under 4.
One through 4 is special. I think you're
Yeah,
on
one.
one.
Where am I?
Oh, no, wait.
It's 1 through 5.
Yeah, but.
But it should be 5 is
Five.
sunset. So we want 1
So 1 through 4.
Yeah, we want 1 through 4 because
So-
the other one's
Yeah.
not gonna be.
amended to 1 to 4.
Amended to 1 to 4.
I apologize if my motion was wrong.
No?
I
Seconded.
apologize if I didn't read it correctly.
Moved by Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Nico. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, just on the snow and ice deficit,
That's here.
obviously the bills aren't in for the storm, but we think the storm's probably around $250,000. How about that?
Okay.
So as we get closer to publication, we'll update the board of we have sufficient free cash to cover everything, or if we're gonna have to dip into stabilization. beyond what's in the article, we have an additional $300,000 of free cash reserved. So hopefully we'll be okay.
So no more snow.
Yeah, no more snow that requires manual.
Chair motion to do no more snow?
Yes.
Second.
It'd also be nice if the state or feds would give us some money at some point to help, but we'll see if that ever happens.
Don't know if it's gonna meet the threshold for the federal disaster. Even if it does, the state Fed did not pick up any money for the last couple of disasters. So
What did you say was it 30+ inches?
it has to be a record snow and a couple other things, so.
We were records.
No, we were.
Yeah, but it's by county, not by town.
Fall River was.
So-
Yeah, but there's a dollar threshold and a,
I mean, North Carolina had the hurricane or tornado that went through and they had a disaster and they still have a stadium. So I'm not expecting.
Okay. All right, and so then 5 will be other. All right, next on. Let's go to annual.
well, before you go to annual, you have 2 other items underneath, special town meeting at 7:45. So you voted the consent agenda, you have to vote your recommendations on the articles and your assignments on the articles.
So first we have to, I'll take, does anyone not want to pay the unpaid bills? I mean,
I think I am for all of them.
yes, I am for paying the bills and budget reconciliation, right?
Chair,
Nobody has any
And the
concerns?
Sunset Road thing is part of
Mr.
what
Chair,
we
motion to authorize and accept Articles 1 through 4 for the special town meeting, April 13th.
All right, move.
1 through 5.
1 through 5, well,
You're doing the last one, it's
That
not
was
a consent
an
agenda.
agenda.
the first one was just saving consent, this is if we like them or not.
1 through 5.
It's been a long day, Jamie, it's been a long couple of days.
1 through 5.
Second.
All right, moved by Mr. Gilmore, seconded by, Ms. Harrison. So this is if we approve all the articles, which I know I do.
And the next one, I'll make another motion
So-
for the consent.
Yeah.
All in favor, hold on. Do we all agree with a motion and a second?
Yes.
On these?
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. I will take all of them.
Okay, that's
Only the
easy.
chair would take the special town meeting, it's that small.
Okay.
And then, Mr. Chair, a motion to accept for the consent agenda for the special town meeting of April 13th, 2026, Articles 1 through 4.
All right, so yes, so that's the, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, compensation, unelected,
That's the annual town.
No,
Yeah.
we're still in green.
yeah.
We need to move to purple. You knocked out green.
We're done.
Doing the consent agenda for just the special town meeting.
You already did it.
Yeah, we already did
I
it.
moved that one, that was the 1 through 5, 1 through 4.
Yeah, 1 through
You
4.
do 10, 8 through
It's
7.
very confusing.
All right, isn't color coding supposed to help?
Part of the colorblind.
It does for the person who color coded.
This is gray, this is gray, this is.
Everybody, let's slow
Okay,
down,
so we've done the.
slow down. We've just recommended all those on the special. Okay, we've assigned them, so now we're going to the annual.
Yes.
All right.
Which is
So
purple.
first, we're gonna see what's on the consent agenda for the annual. correct?
In your packets, you may have between the consent between the special and the annual, a new policy for the board. If you want to stick with the town meetings, we can stick with them and then come back to the new policy. It pertains to both the special and the annual town meeting.
That's the health insurance.
So we can keep going.
I'm
And
confused.
it's in between your stuff in your on your computer.
You want to stay with town meetings?
Let's stay at the town meeting.
Good. So, Mr. Chair, your potential consent agendas,
All right, so I'll go, I got it, it's right here.
you got it?
Okay. So,
We're yellow.
this is to see where you can look, it'll be easier to look at the yellow. Okay? So, do you see on the yellow where it's a little darker orange? This is what is recommended for brown to be consent agenda. So that would be things like the compensation of elected officials, the reports of the board committees, and then waterways, golf course, wastewater, transfer station, all those enterprise budgets, which we typically don't get called for, water stabilization and the revolving fund limits, all those. Okay. Again, so look through this, community preservation, economic development, the VOTEC, the chapter 91, the liability, the bylaw of using revolving funds, Carriage House Way. There's two public ways, Holbrook and Carriage House, an easement on the Driftway, which I put those on. It's interesting. Okay. For
Right,
percentage.
people can always hold them.
That's true.
So I think you go more and then people hold,
Yeah.
is the theory that I would go with.
All right, so this is the local option,
Yeah.
room occupancy from 4% to 6%. Local option acceptance, so this is a mass general law, there are a lot of entrance exceptions for property self and trust. Local option, another new law, 3% community impact fee for short-term rentals. Local option acceptance, 3% impact fee for short-term rentals within operators' primary residence. And then, and this is, we've talked about this briefly, but to remove the fire chief from civil service. For any of those that we just discussed that are on there, take a second, because this is town meeting, this is serious. Do you think we should not put on the consent? Again, people can always take them off.
Or, yeah, people can hold it.
Anyone can hold
The
them.
moderator generally reads the consent agenda offering and asks for anybody to say
Yes.
hold, and if somebody says hold, that comes off the consent agenda.
So 2 questions.
Sure.
One, with regards to the bylaws, we didn't have a meeting yesterday because of the storm. We're gonna have a meeting at some point, probably next week. We're, by moving this to be on the consent agenda, we still have the option to talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, and this is literally just,
Yeah.
this is what we think should at least be on, you know, we could
And the
say.
second question, not really a question, but more of a point, that with regard to the local options on short-term rentals, I still have some significant questions in principle about how we enforce these things, but that's not relative to what we're doing here.
So,
So yes, I don't have any.
And I think technically
Yeah.
legally, because we could, if we had to change the consent agenda, you just tell the moderator, we voted.
You could,
This is really
As
just,
long as we change it before April 13th, I have no problem.
oh yeah, you could do it.
You can go
Town
on.
meeting and say hold.
You can
Yeah.
like walk
We can
around
hold
and
it,
stay
right?
at the mic and yell hold.
Right, so if the board
Okay.
decides that at a town meeting, we don't wanna hold, we don't wanna, something on the consent agenda, you just say hold, and it comes off the consent.
Yeah, we just say.
Just
Just for the record, Nancy and I also wanted to put some of these housekeeping planning board articles on the consent agenda, and the planning board object.
Motion?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
They want to discuss that.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so again, we can change it, but this is more just for, yes, now,
Motion?
yes.
Move that for the annual town meeting for 13/26, that the following articles be placed on the consent agenda. Articles number 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 25, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36.
Second.
Give it to Kristen.
Okay.
All, moved by Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Freya, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, it is unanimous. Those are, as of today, on the consent agenda. Now we'll go through recommendations.
and it's up to the board to, Nico's point, the meeting that was supposed to occur with bylaw review commission and advisory committee yesterday didn't occur. We're trying to reschedule that. If you want to hold on your recommendations to the March 10th meeting, we can do that when you've had all that other information come forward.
Yeah, we can,
I would need to, it was more of a.
Yeah, but we can-
I have no issue putting it on the agenda, I think it has to.
well, this is for us
So
to
this is
support
to
or not
vote
support.
on it.
Yeah, so we'll do that, let's do that all after you've talked about it. Right?
I
Let's
think
do
we
it.
should vote whether to approve or not approve them after we meet with them.
Yep.
That's my thing.
I agree.
Yes.
So we're
And
not
not
gonna
to
do that today.
confuse it to be like voting for the first 16 or something, you know.
And we
do it
can-
all at once.
Do it all.
We can do the assignments at that time as
And
well.
then do the assignments then.
Perfect. All right.
Otherwise we get
Done.
confused.
Yes, we're holding on that and the assignment.
And
We'll
if-
give them everybody.
Don't lose your
Makes a
blue
good
paper.
point, we should.
Don't
Here,
lose your yellow
You're
paper.
gonna need your yellow paper and your.
Bingo.
And they're heavier
All right.
stock, so they'll be easier to find. And Mr. Chair,
Yes,
if the board can consider maybe next Monday or Tuesday, if that would work for the board to reschedule that meeting. And you can tell me after the meeting and then we can see if we can't get that moving again.
I can do Tuesday, I can't do Monday.
We'll figure that all out.
Okay, after the meeting.
All right. Adoption select board policy, retiree health insurance eligibility. So this is page.
Oh, we're on
the 8th. We're not.
Yeah.
All right, take us through this, Nancy.
Okay, so several communities already have this type of policy from the select board that states that if a retiree is not as an employee is not enrolled in the health plan as of the time they retire, they're forever blocked from coming back onto the health plan. Scituate has never adopted that policy. We're asking the town the select board to consider adopting it now. This would only apply to people who retire after July 1st, 2026. It would not be retroactive to anybody else. So anyone who's retired in the past can still come back onto the plan. But as those members who were at the Financial Forecast Committee meeting know, we had an enormous spike in enrollment, something we did not foresee between August of 2025, so 6 months ago, and now we've increased our subscribers by 28 plans. We allow for 4 plans, and then there's movement. You know, a younger retiree who's on a family plan, one themselves or the spouse ages up to MedX, they'll go off onto 2 plans. We expect that the price is about the same because you've got the Medicare supplemental. But in this case, almost 2/3 of them are new plans, if not all of them are new plans. And some of it's not necessarily new staff, but we're filling vacancies. And those people are coming on. People are retiring who didn't have it. And then their replacement is opting for it. We're having people who've lost their insurance and come back. And there have been several cases of retirees who are coming back onto the plan because they have that option right now.
Saying that part would.
That wouldn't change until maybe 20 years from now when you've gone through. Yeah. But if we don't put something into place, it's always going to be a potential problem for the community.
So what this does stop is that if someone did work for the town but never chose to go on town insurance, they would not have the option after retirement.
Right.
Correct?
Correct. They'd be barred from coming back.
You're saying that if they had it at some point, then chose not to have it anymore?
No,
They had to have it at time of retirement.
At the time of retirement. If they're already retired, they could come back.
And that's right.
Now they can.
Yeah.
With this, they could not.
With
So
this,
if you are when I retire, I'm on the health insurance, I have to make a decision. Do I stay in the town's health insurance or do I come off and go on to something else? If I make the decision to come off, then I cannot come back onto the town's insurance. That's if I retire after July 2nd, which I will, unless I hit the lottery between now and then.
But this
So you just have to make that decision it's common. The fact that you can come back on is actually less common.
So it's like if you worked at Microsoft and you're on their insurance and you left, you can't 10 years later come back and say, oh, can I go back into your plan?
But this is also common, states do this, towns do this, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Common in municipal
It's not
and
unusual.
state.
what we do is uncommon that we let people come back on.
Right. Right. That would be like Microsoft's. I'm just trying to explain it again for folks who don't. Microsoft would be like, oh, sure, now you can come back even though you don't work for us anymore. No.
And this also affects our OPEB liability because we have, basically you have to assume that everybody can come back onto the plan.
Anybody?
Yeah, we have to do it for budgeting, we really have to. for
Motion?
budgeting.
So, hold on, Nick was gonna say something.
Just one more, I just want one more clarification. So for anybody who has, let's say, last year retired,
They can come back,
their grandfather.
Yeah.
The life of their-
only going forward after July 1st.
After, thank you. Anybody who retired? B, go for it.
Move to adopt a policy disallowing any employee that retires after July 1, 2026 from enrolling in the town health insurance if not enrolled at time of retirement. This policy would not affect any retiree with a retirement date before July 1st, 2026.
Mr. Gilmore, seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous.
The next item on your agenda is whether or not the board wishes to allocate 200,000 from the wind turbine revolving fund and 200,000 from the solar array revolving fund to support the roads and seawall budget line in the fiscal 27 budget. There is not sufficient funding from recurring revenues that we could support that. So Jim as has been done the last 2 years, is asking the board to consider that as a funding mechanism.
Where does that funding go right now, Nance?
It doesn't go anywhere. It just sits in the fund
The
and be
general
used.
fund?
No,
Nope,
it's a
it's
fund.
separate funds.
It's for you to appropriate.
Yep.
Oh.
So we used a whole bunch of it for when the water treatment plants came in high to pay that down.
And I'm not, just because of what's happened, would you need it, I mean, for snow and ice?
Nope.
or-
No.
You go to the stabilization fund.
Yeah. we're gonna say those.
Okay.
Motion?
Yeah, I mean, we have to, it was setting, so yeah.
We've done it before.
Yeah.
Move to approve use of $200,000 from the wind turbine revolving fund and $200,000 from the solar array revolving fund in support of the engineering department fiscal year 2027 budget line for roads and seawalls.
Second. Jamie, seconded by Nico, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for catching that one, Jamie.
Budget adjustments, and then, yeah, we're not doing the other three. So
Yeah, you're moving along, doing great.
so just let's talk about budget adjustments.
So at the Financial Forecast Committee meeting on February 13th, which is usually the last meeting before the budget goes for town meeting, there were some adjustments that were voted. First, the governor's state aid numbers were in, and there was a net increase to the revenue of 113,577. The regional school assessment actual data from South Shore Tech came in. We saved 28,137 over what we expected. The bad news is the health insurance with the spike in enrollments. The increase was $323,503 in additional expense. Yeah, and it's going to get worse if the rates don't come in at what we expect it to be. There was a pilot program requested from the school department to look at 1 year of having a 3A crossing guard for $7,400. The committee members agreed to do that and make it part of the second SRO. The workers' compensation, that trust fund has a goal of 750,000. It's got 1.18 million in it. So the members voted to not fund it for fiscal 27 and to reduce the general liability and property insurance by 24,189 to offset the increases in health insurance in that pilot program. The property insurance is still a 3.1% increase. The budget is running well, but we were not backing it down because we knew we were bringing on new buildings, the water treatment plant and the new Hatherley Cushing School. The only other change was the principal and long-term debt is being increased by $2,887,419, and that's because of the issuance of the Cushing Hatherley debt in December, and that's a debt exclusion, so it doesn't affect the operational budget, but it is reflected in the operational budget that gets voted.
Mayflower Group meets Monday on health insurance.
That's my name.
They were supposed to meet yesterday.
Yesterday, they canceled.
Wonder why.
Original?
Sorry,
Which group?
Mayflower Municipal Health Group.
Yes, motion after I just say, I just want to say, I love working with Dr. Rab and want to thank the school department and folks for helping us with the financial forecast.
Absolutely.
That will go.
Move to incorporate the changes voted by the Financial Forecast Committee at their February 13, 2026 meeting and the debt service increases due to the December 2025 and February 2026 bond issuances in the proposed fiscal year 2027 general fund operating budget.
Second.
Let's go more seconded by Freya, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
And now I think you're moving on to page somewhere in the 90s, the other side of the contracts.
So we have this is the lease.
Mordecai Lincoln Caretaker's Lease Boat Disposition, 101.
So town council recommended it to us, not recommended, town council noted that the select board has to take a vote for the disposition of the caretaker's cottage at 62 Mordecai Lincoln Road prior to issuing any RFP for a lease for a tenant. So this is before you for that suggested motion.
What is the disposition? Is it a happy or is it a sad caretaker's cottage?
It's good.
We gotta lease it.
Yeah.
We gotta give it to someone to use, that's all.
Okay.
So just,
We're not gonna get rid of
no,
it.
it's okay, yeah,
Motion?
yeah, this is a legal,
This is housekeeping.
yeah.
Motion. Move to declare the town-owned caretaker's cottage on the Mordecai Lincoln property located at 62 Mordecai Lincoln Road, parcel 5A 1-3, available for disposition by lease pursuant to Mass General Legislature, Chapter 30B, Section 16, subject to reuse restrictions to preserve historic characteristics of the building, to require the lessee to provide an on-site caretaking services for the Mordecai Lincoln property, and to authorize the town administrator to obtain evaluation, issue and advertise an RFP, receive and evaluate proposals, and to negotiate and present a lease to the select board for approval and execution, all in accordance with applicable law.
Okay, Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Nico, I think. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. So now we would like to let this out for questions.
Yes, and Jim being all on top of it, he already requested the valuation on the property, and he is very good. The Director of Assisting, Joe DeVito, has done that valuation. He went up and toured the property, and he said based on the market analysis, the current market rent is $2,250 per month. So that would be the benchmark of what we would be looking at, less any.
Is that the highest one we have?
Yes.
Did we do an evaluation on all the other properties? Joe DeVito?
Sure, I would say that you might want to do it when you have a vacancy.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
just.
Oh, yeah, we would have to go through this process. We've never gone all the way.
Yeah,
through this
yeah.
process before.
Yeah. Good, absolutely thing.
We had some discussion about doing it below market rate and trying to rent it to town employees. Have we tabled that?
I'm so sorry, Nico. We discussed that with town council and added that back in there as a comparative evaluation criteria. And town council said that was problematic for conflict of interest.
Okay.
And then we talked about whether we could make it for a Scituate resident. He said you still have that kind of problem.
Okay.
So basically back away and let the market do what it's going to do. Same thing with affordability. Where we think there's going to be a lot of interest in the property, there's a lot of benefits to being sited at that property. And the way that the meeting that came after this first review of the RFP with Jim DeShong and Susan, we decided to take a lot of the tasks out of there. So the person has very few tasks other than to, monitor the property and report back to the facilities director if they see something has been breached, call the police, reports the facilities director, and then walk the property just to make sure that there's nothing holding up the trails or anything else.
Got it. Thank you.
The only changes that I think you would see are in kind of a pinkish. There was a question I had for town council about the insurance. We've gotten the answer from Maya about what we should put in there for insurance. So we'll just substitute that for the appropriate language they gave us for someone to have renter's insurance. There was a really strange insurance, like a commercial enterprise in there before. And then taxation, we have addressed that. Jim addressed that with Joe. And I think that's about it.
And council's gone through it. This is essentially
Yeah,
council's
we've gone through
RFP.
And Jim has that.
This is all to put that does.
We have interest, in fact, that people inquire, so. I think-
Oh, there's a lot of interest. People show up at the Mordecai Lincoln meetings as well. And this is a great process. And I think it was, what was the other town that did this process?
This
North
is-
Shore somewhere.
I want to say this is Salem, yeah.
Salem? Okay. Yeah, and it's, a good, great process as well.
Yeah, and now we'll be ready
We'll
for,
be ready for whenever there's a
Ready to roll.
vacancy. We'll do this similarly in other properties.
Ready to roll.
All right, I'll take another motion for the RFP. Do we need one for the RFP as well, not just the disposition?
yes, so we
Yeah.
can issue the RFP.
Let me go back to that, I remember when.
It should be right above your snow and ice budget.
Move to
Oh, no.
issue the RFP for
Yeah.
caretaker tenant of Mordecai Lincoln Cottage.
You got it.
Moved by.
Second.
Saracen, seconded by Mr. Gilmore, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Under new business, town administrator already spoke to the deficit.
Yeah.
Nice. So then you're on to the municipal employees, 20B exemptions
On the
for,
lease, we'll probably wait a couple weeks when we put that out, just to let everything, people are really paying attention right now. with everything going on,
Yeah.
so we'll probably wait a little bit before we put that out.
Yeah, that makes.
and actually, so they can go tour the property, not.
Yeah, you could date was
See
in
it.
March for the touring and
Caretaker, you're gonna shovel all over
Well, it's in there, they do have to shovel.
with a
so
small shovel.
Maybe we should start now, ask folks on their shoveling.
One of the original shovels found on the property.
Have a shoveling clinic.
The,
Anyways,
So the recreation department is seeking approval for 2 individuals who work for the school system who want to also work for the recreation department.
Okay. Wrestling and fitness yoga. You wanna do it?
Sure. Move that the select board approves the following employees to be employed by both the Scituate School Department and Scituate Recreation Department. Brian Robinson, Recreation Wrestling Program Director and SPS Teacher/Coach. Kelly Ridley, Recreation Fitness/Yoga Instructor and SPS Teacher.
Second.
moved by Mr. Gilmore, seconded by Freya. Brian, he's like the nicest guy, he's awesome. I bet Kelly's amazing too.
Yeah,
He's the-
my
he's-
son loves him as a teacher.
He's amazing.
He's a great,
All in
history teacher, right? Or-
I don't know, he's fabulous. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
I met James Mellon, who is gonna, this is for the next registrar.
Republican register.
I met him, he's very, he's retired, he's very knowledgeable. Very nice guy.
And
So, yeah, we
this
need-
comes from the retirement that we had at the top of the.
Right.
agenda.
Yes, so I'm retired and yeah, this is all for
Yes, it's all
everybody,
connected.
it's all connected. So,
Motion?
sure, please.
Motion to appoint James Mellon as registrar to fill a vacancy on the Board of Registrars of Voters. This term expires in 2027.
Mr. Gilmore, seconded by
Second.
Nico. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Any correspondence?
No.
I have none, Chair.
All right. Well, any meeting minutes? to
Yes,
approve?
there are, it was February 3rd, 2026, move to approve February 3rd, 2026.
Moved by Mr. Harrison,
Second.
seconded. Okay.
Go ahead.
Seconded by Nico, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and
Second.
seconded by Freya, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Hold on.
We have internet on Board of Trade.
Woo!